Well, I mean, you know what they say. Better late than never. When I was a little kid, I'm only a half an hour late. You would not believe the fucking weekend I've had. So let's just make sure everything's up and moving, up and grooving. I'm also doing like 15 other things all at once because I've got so much shit I just need to catch up on. I'm gonna check in on YouTube and see how the audio is there. Let's see here. All right, so it looks like everything's doing okay. Move that over there. All right, yeah. I mean, when I was a little kid, I remember watching. I think it was the second Ghostbusters. Commandos. Hi, Grandmaster. I was watching. I think it was the second Ghostbusters with the slime and shit, which. I know it's a controversial opinion. I think the second Ghostbusters is better. But Cheech Marin, I think he sees the Titanic coming in. He's like, better late than never. I remember being a little kid and that just stuck with me. So whenever I hear that or whenever I think better late than never, I'm picturing Cheech Marin just staring at the ghost Titanic. Anyway. Yeah, I'm a half an hour late. So I'm a musician, which some of you may know, and this weekend I played 2 sets at this festival in my region, and the second one was just a couple of hours ago, and then I saw some of the bands. It's been a very busy weekend for me. It was fun, though. It was fun. But I did race home because clearly I have more important things to do, like talk to y'all about weird shit, right? I saw this great band, Electric Turtle. I saw them on Friday nights. They were just incredible. I highly recommend checking them out. Anyway, let's just fucking get into it because I've still got other stuff to do. I am a human being with an outside life. Anyway, thank you for joining. Let's just go. Here, we're gonna grow down. Blip, 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 blip. That should be good. And we got our beautiful green Google, which is what they call me. That was my nickname in high school. I don't know why I'm doing this stupid this voice. I'll try to watch it. How are you? How's your weekend been? How's the beginning of October been for you? I've had a pretty good one so far. All right. So. This week, while I was gathering, we had some slow days, honestly, and I used to, when I was doing the produced Weird Week, I used to just like make a joke and be like, Wednesday, nothing happened. There was like an X-Files joke, I think. But I'm really trying to scrape something together for you every single day. And so we've got a couple slow days in here this week, but something did happen every day. First off, you may notice my headline for this week was John Keel a charlatan? This it might be a little controversial to people who take the phenomenon serious in any manner. John Keel is one of the researchers that got me into this sort of thing. I think started. My interest with John Keel, I think, started with the Mothman Prophecies movie, which had very little to do with the actual Mothman Prophecies. And shortly after that, I picked up Guide to something, Supernatural Beings or something, which was just a reprint of Strange Creatures from Time and Space. Fantastic book, though. Excellent. I highly recommend it as a crash course in just like the wide variety of shit that could be out there. But anyway, John Keel has been a very important part of my growth as someone in this field, and I think a lot of people in this field could say the same thing. He's generally has been well respected. He's done a lot for the field. He's been very forward thinking right from the get-go, and he's noticed a lot of patterns and things that I think really push the field along to serious researchers. Now, popular culture has really fallen behind. I mean, the majority of people, if they even believe in these things at all, tend to still think of aliens as extraterrestrial and UFOs as nuts and bolts things, which you can't discount, I guess. And there probably is a little more gray area in there than I'm making it sound. But John Keel, along with Jacques Vallée, Gray Barker, a bunch of these people, really push the idea that these things are more than something that we would understand as human beings, interdimensional or ultra-terrestrial, as Keel liked to put it. Very important is my point in opening up the way that we see the phenomenon at large. He saw everything as being connected, which is a point of view that I do agree with. This is all coming from, on Sunday I received in the mail, I received a book, a collection of John Keel's anomalies. Anomaly was the name of his magazine, and it's a collection of that magazine. And the very first article in it is John Keel explaining essentially what Lou Elizondo was saying a couple weeks ago, that UFOlogy is wrong. The way we do it currently is wrong. The popular opinion is wrong, and that we need to come to things with a more scientific point of view, with a more ordered system for classification and for investigation. There even is a system for quickly describing an encounter with something within the phenomenon. Within the book, that breaks down to about 20 letters, and you can quickly see what's what. Massively impressive. It's like $15 to get the collection. I highly recommend it because it is from the fucking 60s and it's still blowing away a lot of the popular theory. I highly recommend getting it. Now, let's get to the part where John Keel may be a charlatan. One of the things that Keel pushes a lot, especially within the Mothman Prophecies and the excerpts from that book, which later became The Eighth Tower, also an incredible book, is the diminutive, as he describes them, people with oriental features, which is, I know, but that's how Keel describes them. Ruddy complexions, long straight black hair, longer than average fingers, tend to be shorter, who pop up and disappear. They're in the Mothman Prophecies at least twice. They're in Eighth Tower, like I said. They're in a couple of his books, but they also pop up in other people's books. I believe Gray Barker wrote about them, and then anybody who was into the field at that time tended to also write about them, and I even see them in current books. Last year, I began reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. In the autobiography of Malcolm X, which was, I want to say, 63, Malcolm X talks about sitting in a prison cell, and he rolls over, basically, and there is a person who matches this description, who just appears in his cell. Malcolm X says he's not afraid. He sees the person. He's as real as I am to the people in the house with me right now. He's there. There was a person in the cell with him. He matches the description, and then just like that, he's gone. This is 1963 that Malcolm X described this. Malcolm X, not a person for horseshit. It's a very serious thing. Mothman Prophecies happens better part of a decade later. And that's when we start seeing these things happen. Now, if my first thought reading the autobiography of Malcolm X was, oh, John Keel must have read this and maybe he based it on this. And for 2 years now, I've been looking for pre-Keelian reports of these entities. And I have not been able to find any. Granted, I can't read every piece of literature, and I have put out a call on Twitter and Instagram for anyone else who has come across these reports to talk about them or to send them my way. But I was like, maybe Keel didn't see this. However, in this collection, Anomaly, there is a clipping of this passage. So Keel has seen it. Did Keel create this just to add his own fingerprint to the lore? Which, is that not as bad as hoaxing a UFO video? Or providing false information? for all the work that Keel did as far as patterns and statistics, did he just do this just for the shit of it? Or is it a coincidence? The only way we can really say one way or the other if John Keel was a charlatan, is, in this regard anyway, is if somebody, maybe you watching this, can dig up a report of these people, these entities, pre-John Keel. That is not sourced from John Keel. I have seen reports of people, or have seen reports from people who say it happened in the 1920s, but then that report is sourced back to John Keel finding it. So if you can find one that doesn't come from John Keel and predates John Keel, send it my way, please, because I would love to figure this out. Anyway, I know you're not here to listen to me talk about this shit. We're here to talk about the week. So, right away. On Sunday, Safety Ghost is what I called this. Got a nice big mug of Kratom here. I'm in a lot of pain. Moving amps and shit across town. Fucking 3 days. Alright, so it looks like the post's been removed. I'll show you why in a second. So we saw a fox, took a picture and got something more in it. There was no one there. Here's the picture. Yeah, I'm sure you can see the ghost. Right? And I assume you can figure out already why this has been removed. Let me show you what this is. Take a good look at this. Oh, no, wait, never mind. That's the... Here I was being fucking snarky about it. Neon safety child stand-up. Let's see if I can get there with this Google foo. There it is! Boom. Boom. I think that's all it is. It's on the side of the road. You can't really see shit. And it seems pretty obvious to me. So we're going to quickly blaze through these. I don't want this show to like devolve into me just debunking shit. I do want to talk more, which is why I wanted to open up tonight's episode with discussion about John Keel. Moving on, we have a Barcelona UFO. I got tons of fucking sightings tonight, tons. And I know I just said I don't want to turn this into a debunking thing, but all right. UFO during thunderstorm captured in Barcelona. Is there any audio on this? No, apparently not. Okay, it's bizarre. You can see a little bit of a shadow there. It's interesting. However, this was quickly brought up. Clarification, that video about 15.03.20 UFO during thunderstorm capture in Barcelona is a fake video by CG artist Alien Planet. Alien Planet is a fucking known hoaxer. UFO sighting filmed in Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. It's the exact same goddamn thing. I'll tell you, you don't even really need me to point these things out to you. Usually, Reddit is very quick with these things. Sometimes they're a little jump the gun, maybe a little bit. But a lot of people complain that, oh, everything's getting debunked here. Well, that's because most of it's fucking horseshit, is why. The whole reason I do this show is to, like, sift through the chaff so we can get to the wheat. All right, coming up next we have, on Sunday, a haunted doll. A rocking doll. Which is the topic that's come in conversation with me a lot.
This morning is a popular British magazine show watched by millions. However, during a segment on a possessed doll in 2017, viewers were left terrified after the doll appeared to genuinely haunt the ITV studio. Take a look.
We bought 3. They were £5 each, and we thought, we'll buy them because they look like they're worth more than £5 each. You know, hands up, I bought them to
Look,
resell.
that chair's beginning to rock.
Rocking.
Look at that.
Who's doing that? Stop it. Who's doing that?
But you separated these dolls, you brought them home, and immediately you could feel that this one, has this one got a name?
That's not it at all.
Yeah.
No.
The guest had already mentioned that the doll had terrorized their family and they were tormented by the toy. So who was making the chair rock? Was it the doll or sneaky production staff? What do you think?
Okay, so
This morning is a pop.
I mean, there's lots of reports of haunted dolls. Some of your famous ones, like Robert, which I was discussing with my partner this morning, or the Annabelle doll. You know, lots of reports of haunted dolls. Is this one of them? I don't know. The fact that it took place in our TV studio is suspect. It was on television. The fact that the host pointed it out, but to me, if it happened to me, I'd probably be a little more freaked out by it. I can't say one way or the other if this was hoaxed. I looked in the video to see if there was, strings or something going on. I feel like is there any way to
British magazine show watched by millions.
is there any way to like
segment on a possessed doll in 2000.
I can't scroll through it. If there was a string on the back and the production staff was pulling it, that could be the case, which I'm more inclined to believe. The key is to just always assume that everything's a lie. The burden of proof, which I've talked about before, is on you. If you bring the fantastic thing to the table, the burden of proof is on you. You have to show that this is true. You have to show that this is real. It's not up to us to show that it's not real. You have to show that it's real. And if I can come up with explanations as to why this might not be real, you need to be able to disprove them. Obviously, I can't tell this Karma Connects channel to prove it. I'm just saying I can't go one way or the other, but I'm leaning towards untrue. Moving on, we're doing this quickly. Oh my hell, that was really loud. Stop. We're doing this quickly. On Monday, no more NIM logo, which I'm sure you see because it has been, get out of here, because it has been almost a full week. Last week, you might remember that I was talking about the UFO and the National Intelligence Manager logo. Well, now that it has disappeared. It was apparently an error, an oversight. It is gone. That's possible. It doesn't look anything like these other ones, to be honest. This one's weird as shit, though, right? I don't know. I don't know if it was just someone disgruntled or if it was just an error. The wrong file got uploaded. Could be anything. Could be somebody just fucking with us for no reason at all. I don't know. But it's gone. I'm trying to see if there's a real. Cyberscoop has now reported that an ODNI spokesperson told them in a statement that someone erroneously posted an unofficial and incorrect logo. Well, there you go. Iowax is a lost boy, like a talk story, talking to a doll like it's purgatory. Clarify? All right, we also have, and I know this isn't necessarily paranormal, but this is gonna sound fucking stupid. I really think clouds are cool as hell. I have a couple of cool cloud things that popped up. Some of them are just neat. What is that? A sphere. Camera does not move. Autofocuses at maximum magnification. Kodak Z5010. I assume you can see that. That's it. Most likely a gnat or small bug crawling across the lens. Yeah, that. Yes, clouds are cool as hell. That one there's no reference point. I can't tell what I'm looking at. I can't. It's just gray. Are we pointing directly up? Are we at tree level? I don't know. This could just be fog. This could be mist from water nearby. This could very well just be a bug crawling down the lens. Or it could be a sphere. Who knows? Who knows? I got a ton of cloud shit coming up for some fucking reason this week. But moving on. Tuesday. And if you check the description of this week's show, you will see my opinion on this. We can get into it. We can talk about it. Although I don't really see it as necessary. Lou Elizondo reveals UFOs are demonic. Let's go right from the beginning. Walks, yes, we are in sync. I hope your app's cool though, man. This is the same shit that fucking Tom DeLonge was talking about like years ago. You can't hear him? Yeah, I'll play it again for you, man.
I remember the conversation very well. This is a person I respected tremendously, very, very senior person. He's told me, he said, Lou, I want you to stop doing this. I said, okay, sir, I certainly can, but may I ask why? And he says, well, we already know what it is. Now, at that moment, I honestly thought maybe it was our own technology. I was running up against some super uber secret sap, and they were telling me to stop. And I said, okay, sir, so it's ours? And he said, no, that's not what I'm saying. And he said, he asked me point blank, have you read your Bible lately? And I wasn't quite sure where he was going with that. And I said, well, sir, I think I know what it says. Where are you going with this? And he said, well, then you would know that these things are demonic, and we should not be pursuing them. Yeah, and he wasn't kidding. That's exactly how he felt.
So this is a Pentagon. This is a Department of Defense official saying, stop looking at UFOs because they're demonic.
Correct. I had one.
All right. So I hope you all could hear him that time. Like I said, this is the same shit that fucking Tom DeLonge was talking about years ago and got fucking shredded for it. I think the important thing here is if we're going to throw around that word, demonic, we need to very carefully define it. Demonic in what sense? In the Judeo-Christian sort of sense? It's a very bizarre way to describe things, and it really feels like a huge left turn from the things that Lou was saying and avoiding saying not long ago, a year ago. You know, it does sort of play into something that I was talking about last year or the year before. If there are entities that are not human, And if how can I word this carefully? We have three scenarios, okay? Abductions are real, and the United States government knows about it and allows it. 2, abductions are real, and the government knows about it and is powerless to stop it. Or 3, all abductees are lying. I don't believe that number 3 is possible. Yes, I think that many people could be lying or are lying. I do think that a lot of people will do things for attention. I do think that there are a lot of people who need serious help. However, all of them, thousands of people, I can't see that. I can't see them all being discounted, especially when you get to some other deeper aspects of the phenomena and some similarities that these people have that would not be known to people outside of it. So this statement here that Lou is making, that apparently has been told to him, kind of might tie into that. Okay, if these horrible fucking things are happening, and these groups are saying we need to stop fucking with it, that's number 2. They're happening, and the United States government can't do anything about it, which is horrifying. Honestly, either one of those options is fucking horrifying. I'm not sure that I buy this. I strongly feel like I don't buy it. I feel like the idea of demonology is a very human notion, but I suppose that's a deeper conversation for another day, although I am into discussing it at some point. Not today. It's a very strange thing for Lou to be talking about now, though. It's a very odd thing. Now, I've not watched that entire interview. I haven't watched a lot of Lou interviews lately, so I don't know where he is currently in his point of view. I mean, it's odd. It's odd. Maybe we'll find out in 26 days. Maybe. However, let's move on. Also on Tuesday, good old John Greenwald at the Black Vault, NASA, UAP, UFO related internal communications. Basically, John asked for, he sent in a FOIA request for things with this shit here. Airborne object, AOIMSG, AOIMExec, or unidentified aerial. As you can imagine, he got fuck all back. He did get some worthy stuff back. A lot of it was blacked out. He also requested these things here. This and this. I'm trying to show, let's see here. As you can see, Chris Mellon's name is here. When researching this unidentified aerial phenomena association group, nothing is really found that connects to this group online, nor are there any references to it. However, Richard Coleman, along with Alexandra Hale, who also appeared in the signature block as the vice president of the group, because most of the names were redacted, do run an organization known as Space Transportation Association with the same titles. According to their website, the STA is dedicated to supporting policies that advance robust, affordable space transportation for NASA, DoD, and commercial markets. There is no contact information on the STA's website, but the Black Vault reached out to Powell and Mellon for comment on the 2020 event. According to Powell, this was not a public event. In addition, he said there were 41 people at the presentation, but declined to name any who attended, nor would confirm if they were from the government or military. The only information he gave on the attendees that they were not from the world of ufology. When Christopher Mellon was asked by the Black Vault for comment, only minimal information was received in return. The first response was that his plans changed, insinuating that he did not attend the event. He also called the document a nothing burger. The Black Vault followed up to confirm that he definitely did not attend, and if the introductory remarks were given by someone else, but Mellon only responded with not ringing a bell. Really evasive for Chris Mellon. Also, just another about face, it seems like all these guys from a year ago, save for Avi Loeb, who's just fucking still going strong. All these guys from a year ago seem like they've just spread out into this spiderweb of paths that I did not expect. I really think that this whole shit from 2017 to now has just been purposeful confusion. Just like always. That's just been the method for years and years and years, and I think it's going to continue to be the method. All right, on Wednesday, moving on. We're halfway through the week. Back to good old John Keel. So, this is my LowStrangeness Twitter. Back January 26, 2021, I was reading the 8th Tower for the first time. Apparently sound can be transmitted through flame. I could not get this first attempt to work, though I was using an old cell phone and cut headphones. This is an excerpt from the 8th Tower. Thousands of cult and religious groups centered their rites around great bonfires because, incredibly, the voices of their gods would boom from the flames and address huge congregations. This is not as silly or as impossible as it might sound. Since the 1920s, radio experimenters have known that fire makes a perfect loudspeaker. You can prove this yourself in your own kitchen. Hook up the output leads of any ordinary hi-fi to a gas burner, and the gas flame will reproduce the VLF waves from your set with excellent fidelity. The bigger the flame, the louder the sound. A blazing bonfire could be made to react to VLF waves by the same principle. So I read this back in 2021 and immediately went to try to make this work. This is the first time I said to myself, John Keel might be fucking just making shit up, right? So here's a picture of me trying it. I could not get it to work. Although this is not exactly the description that John Keel made up, so I don't know. This is a video here about thermoacoustics, which doesn't really help too much, but it was kind of in the right path. However, this has been on my pile of things that I have to question John Keel about for a long time, until, so fucking bizarre, this popped up on Wednesday. Using grass to listen in on radio signals. This is exactly what John Keel was talking about. This person has burning grass touching a radio tower and is able to play sound. It's unreal.
Сильно?
Так нагревается, ох, ебашит. А знаешь почему? А я не знаю, блядь. Ебашит не по-детски.
Ай, сука. А тут, кстати, уже все,
Это
смотри.
есть изоляция.
Это на все, это керамическое. У тебя в руках этого ебанем.
So, I mean, I want to do more looking into this because this is just incredibly bizarre to me. At some point I want to make a fucking bonfire speaker, and I'm going to figure it out. So I guess Keel was right here. Alright, moving on. Also on Wednesday, we got some more cool cloud shit. This one is over Newport in Wales, which is where half of my family is from. Not Newport specifically, but Wales. A rectangular gap in the clouds. It's cool. Bizarre. If I saw it, yeah, it would be. It would bother me, to be honest. But you also have to remember that, like, the rectangle shape is just a matter of like a point of view. Nothing creepy, nothing fantastic, just cool. And also on Wednesday, this popped up here. Someone in our Bigfoot asked for a sign that Bigfoot was real and saw this in the clouds. This almost went in the paranormal goofy shit section. There's our boy. All stinking and stupid. All right. Lastly, on Wednesday, a great compilation video popped up. If you have friends who are doubtful or family members who think that belief in this sort of thing is only for the kooks, the crazies, and those obsessed with fantasy, here's a video, 10 minutes, of NASA astronauts telling you that UFOs are real, including Buzz Aldrin, Edgar Mitchell, Gordon Cooper, James McDivitt, and Deke Slayton.
About you
We'll
and
listen
the
a
Apollo
couple
11 crew
minutes of it.
seeing
Maybe a
something that could have been a UFO on the way to the moon. Set it straight for me. What was that all about? Did you see something?
In 1965, General McDivitt spent 4 days in outer space as command pilot of Gemini 4. General McDivitt, have you ever seen a UFO?
Yes, during my flight on Gemini 4.
Okay, the man who made the longest moonwalk in history has a message for everyone on Earth.
Yeah, he says we are being visited. Now, we can show you Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell in an interview that's posted on YouTube. He's calling on President Obama to release all classified files about government interaction with aliens. He predicts a day when leaders of other nations will begin stepping forward and admitting to alien encounters. Mitchell says he wants the U.S. to lead by example, not follow. And interestingly enough, Mitchell is not the only astronaut to talk about the existence of aliens. Buzz Aldrin also talks about a UFO that the Apollo 11 crew apparently saw on their way to the moon.
All right, Buzz, I wish we had more time, my friend. Thank you very much. I always think if we had broken into a story like this on July 20, 1969, I think you would have come back and slapped us.
Listen,
Buzz,
we just about could have said, look, we see a UFO out the window going along with us. You know what would have happened? The public would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
We're smart enough to say, where is the upper stage rocket? We think we might be looking at that out the window.
I saw an object in space fairly close to our spacecraft.
So anyways, this goes on for, like I said, 9 minutes and 20 seconds here. Great video to show somebody if they're just fucking hard-headed about this shit and don't want to give it a chance. That's straight from the horse's mouth. From some of the only people that have ever even been up there. And they're all saying, yep, we've seen some shit. All right, on Thursday, we're ripping through this week. This video is apparently from December 2021, but it popped up Thursday, so we're gonna count it. UFO filmed in Chile. What do you guys think about it? I'm sure you already can see what I think about it. Immediately, I thought of Jeremy Corbell's shitty video from a couple of years ago.
Pico cabro, estaba aquí en el volcán y grabando el valle allá para abajo, miren lo que lo encontramos, un ovni, un objeto que brilla allá no identificado. Puede que sea el día de la independencia hoy día, weón, va a quedar la cagada que se van a enfrentar, weón. O será Goku, weón, que está haciendo la Genkidama, weón. Mira, weón. Voy a darle todo el aumento por los 126 de euros.
So at this point, you
Mira,
can see what's going on, right? There's light reflecting off of a building here. This building's all over the fucking place here. There's light reflecting off a building, and when they zoom in, because cameras are not infallible, it produces the bokeh effect, which is essentially just the camera being unable to process that amount of light in that small space. Sort of. Anyway, it's just a fucking camera's not being fantastic. It's a bokeh effect. It's not a UFO. It's not even in the air. It's just light bouncing. All right. Hurricane Ian destroyed the South. I'm not laughing. It's horrible. It destroyed the South this week. And I'm sure we're going to see tons of shit come out of that. We see it every time there's a disaster like this. Crisis apparitions and ghosts and all kinds of shit come out of hurricanes. It's a hotbed. Because it's full of disaster. And that's where all this shit pops up. But anyway, here's a something that was popped up in Florida. Did you see it? So my thought is that this is a bug catching the light. The way it kind of jumps and skips seems like a... See? It kind of moves like a bug, and then it's off. Moving on. Friday. We're really ripping through this. Friday. I was not aware of the Gray Man. Apparently this is a thing that people know about. I can't keep up with everything. I know tons of shit about nonsense. I don't need more of it in here. The Gray Man, the Gray May was spotted on Polly's Island this morning. Legend has it that seeing this ghost on the coast of Polly's Island is a warning to residents of a coming hurricane. There's the Gray Man, the Gray May. I don't know what all these goddamn other tweets are. I'm not doing that. I don't know. Where's Polly's Island? Let's find out. Is Polly's Island in the south? It's in South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, they got fucking... There you go. Crisis apparitions. What was I just saying? All right. Also on Friday...
Gnome caught in camera. Going viral on social media, this
Look at that little
strange
guy.
video of a gnome.
Jesus Christ, he's up and out.
Well, it's interesting. It doesn't seem to be a montage. No, could it be a mouse? But walking standing up, the person is scared. It looks like a real fright. Well, what do you think?
All right, so there is so much lore of small, mischievous humanoid creatures all over the world. The Pukwudgie and a bunch of them. Actually, a lot of them have names very similar to Pukwudgie globally. It's very strange. The Catskills, which is very close to where I am, has a lot of gnome lore going back centuries. I can't discredit it. Okay, there have been bones found in caves in the west, the United States, of very small creatures, very small humans. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there's legends of brownies, right? I wish the video was clearer. And of course, like, the video looks like shit. Of course it does. Maybe. Man, I should have put that in the title. Didn't even think about it. All right, on Saturday, I've got a few things to choose from. I'm not going to cover them all, but if you want to check them all out, they're in the show notes. On Saturday, this popped up. It is an animation of the Gimble encounter, which of the officially released encounters, the Gimble was the one I had the hardest time wrapping my head around what I was actually seeing. So here's an animation.
Attempt to show what really happened in the Gimble UFO encounter. As some of you might know, the Gimble video is a lot longer than the published version, and the pilot Ryan Graves, that was present at the time when the pilots took the footage, has explained the entire encounter.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
According to the communication heard in the release version, the UFO was rotating and was accompanied by other unknown objects. They had it on radar, and when the rotation happens, the distance is within 10 nautical miles. In the FLIR footage, we can see that the UFO is going against the wind, and while the rotation happens, it started to slow down almost to a full stop. The smaller objects that were flying in a loose V formation turned around and went in the other direction, and the Gimble UFO followed them. According to some calculation, the Gimble UFO size is around 23 feet or 7 meters. I've explained in more details why I think that this is the shape for the Gimble UFO in another video, but here you can see the resemblance with the
We've actually
video
covered
from
similarly
2006.
shaped things a couple weeks
Here you
ago.
can see it in a potential military leak video that looks exactly the same as this video taken in 2015 in Spain. Don't forget to like and share my video and subscribe to my channel with notifications on.
So it's just a cool, helpful animation. If you weren't familiar with the Gimble incident, that's a good place. Oh, let's see here. We got, you know, there are a few things. The last thing I'm going to talk about as far as odd stuff in the week. Actually, no. I'm going to talk about two more things. I should have put this in the paranormal goofy shit section. I'm not going to. It is goofy. It's not paranormal. A mysterious voice is haunting American Airlines in-flight announcements and nobody knows how. I was going to cover this a couple weeks ago. Multiple reports of a mysterious voice grunting, moaning, and groaning on American Airlines in-flight announcement systems, sometimes lasting the duration of the flight. I have seen videos. Here's one of them. It's pretty good. It's a good bit. Whoever's in charge of it. Get the hell out.
Wow. The first time I see a new view or make it to the top of the new ridgeline, I'm still awed.
It's exciting.
And that's what I'm kind of in search of.
Arcteryx. Get ready to get everything you want for your home this season.
Oh my god. This future
is
the worst future.
My wife is a total skeptic. She does not believe in the paranormal whatsoever.
What are you talking?
Eastern Airlines would make off the elevator, you'd be stepping into the lives, had nearly...
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. That is not the video I saw. Maybe this is it? Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna find it. Basically, it's just, it seems like someone found a way to hack into the intercom system and just fuck with people. And it's very funny. Alright, so back to the thing I was actually going to talk about. There was a tic-tac sighting in Vegas. It's not fantastic. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is also not fantastic, but it has been popping up fairly regularly lately, and it's kind of an obscure thing. Over on Phantoms and Monsters. Are the Michelin Men humanoids? Buck. A recent sighting in Brazil. A young Brazilian man was hiking through the countryside in Nova Cruz, Rio Grande do Norte. After a while, he noticed a strange tired humanoid and was totally confused. So he's talking about just going on his hike. I got a nice view from up at the Whale Rock. I could see trees, cacti, bushes, grass, etc. But one thing caught my attention quickly. It was this person wearing a silly costume. I don't know very well how to describe it, but the best way I have to explain how it looked is it kind of looked like those cartoon depictions of a beehive. I got worried because it's usually really hot in this part of the country. I climbed down to the ground and started walking towards the hive man. Here's a picture here. He seemed to notice me as I got closer, and I started to notice how weird he was. His movements were really fluid, but also really mechanical too, which is also something people have said about the Michelin Man. The fabric of the suit seemed to have a metallic glow to it while having a rusty aspect. It had no facial features, but two amber-colored discs that reflected like mirrors where its eyes should be. So yeah, it's interesting because this popped up a lot in the 60s, and it's starting to pop up a lot more now. I love these reports because they're always they're not threatening. They're just like, oh, I saw this dude who looked like a fucking Michelin Man walking down the road, or he was just taking a gander at the ocean, or you know, like. There's been a few people that have said that they've seen them like in their house, just looking at them. But it's never menacing. These people always feel comfortable. They always, nothing ever happens. Very interesting. An odd thing to start recurring again. I think maybe there's going to be some, they're popular stories now, and it's so quirky that other people might start to just horseshit it. It's possible. I wish people wouldn't do that, but you know, what can you do? Anyway, coming up, it's paranormal goofy shit. The segment I know y'all wait for. And here we go. Real proof of dogmen. I know. I've been waiting for it. I've been asking you all to send it to me. Real dogmen proof. They're out there. There you go. There you go, folks. Real fucking dogmen proof. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see this on our dogmen, to be honest, with the fucking level of shit that goes on over there. Again, I want to say to you, if you have good shit for this phenomenon, send it my way, and I will stop fucking ragging on it. And also, let's get rid of that. Show's over. All right, the show's over. I've had a long weekend. I'm gonna go. It's October. I'm gonna watch some horror movies. If you want, there's all our socials at the bottom. If you want to follow or sub to our Patreon, great. If you want to just shoot me like $4, great. My Venmo's down here too. It'll scroll by in a second. So yeah, if you see anything during the week you want me to talk about, let me know. I like to believe it illusion. I know it's spooky. Boop is what sure. I see. The thing is, like, I'm not saying that none of this shit exists. I'm willing to entertain the idea that there is more, that there is something else. I'm willing to entertain it. But when all that I see as far as evidence goes is like pareidolia pictures, like just nonsense, I can't buy that as proof. I can't. And I have to remain skeptical. I think we should all be remaining skeptical about all of this. Be open to the idea, but demand evidence. Oh yeah, also, if anyone comes across reports of those entities I was talking about earlier with John Keel, pre-John Keel and not sourced to John Keel, let me know. Send it my way, because I would love to dig further into that. Anyway, my name's Ace Morris, and this has been Weird Week Live. I will see y'all next Sunday at 8 p.m. I'm not playing a festival that weekend, so I will be on time. I'm sorry I was a half an hour late. I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you have a great beginning to your October. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Walks. I hope your rap goes well. I'm sure it did. You seem like good people. Anyway,